Oh, and good morning. I was laying in the bed watching 2819 and discussing some things with the Lord that He told me that I hear in a message from that ministry that was did 2 years ago that we talked about yesterday, which was the 23rd of June of 2025, whenever you see this. And I was talking about a brick and mortar because I haven't been to brick and mortar but one time since I rededicated. But I had said, Lord, you're going to have to open the door for me to go to the right church here in Texas. I said, because I do not want to sit up on just any teaching, because I'm not hearing like I'm hearing from this ministry. And they're in Atlanta, and I'm no longer in Atlanta. I moved back to Texas years ago. And so I watch him. And the pastor I was under since 2002, to me, I was not agreeing with some things he was teaching on grace. And this is a thing that's very dangerous when you speak on grace and mercy and long suffering, because people will use that as an excuse to stay in sin. People will use that as an excuse to justify sin. They take those words and that quote out of pocket, out of season, out of time, and they begin to place those mercy, grace, and long suffering in their sin. And then they just stay in the sin. They don't try to get out of the sin. They no longer can even be told they're in sin. And let me tell you something. When you don't feel no conviction anymore, that's a dangerous place to be in. Because the Holy Spirit has backed away from you. You are not perfect and holy and just sweet. You ain't hearing God talk to you. That's a problem. See, you should never want to not hear His voice. Oh no, that's not a sign that you are in the will. That's most of the time a sign you're out the will. Okay, because I sit in here every day. He wants to be in every part of your life. Every issue that you go through, He talks to you about it. So, I've heard this pastor say about grace, God is bigger than your stupid, as if you can act a fool and still make it. No, His grace is bigger than your stupid. So therefore, you should not be remaining stupid. Because grace is to pull you and keep you under the headship of Jesus Christ. Mercy is when you do act stupid. You don't get what you deserve. Like the Old Testament, Jesus took care of that. God didn't play in the Old Testament. You act a fool, you was dead. Your whole family died. You may fall dead right there. God didn't have the same patience with humanity when they sinned, and Jesus had not came as the lamb to take care of that. So when we come to Jesus and we still acting stupid many years, baby, you need to find out if your name was ever written. I tell you, the boys don't have no eraser on his pen. He writes your name. He said He would not blot it out, so He ain't writing everybody's name. Because He don't erase your name when He writes. Jesus said that the Father gave those disciples to Him. He has chosen them out of the world. You cannot be removed. And guess what? You don't want to be. You want the will of God. You do the will of God on a regular basis. You don't have to tell that Christian to give. That Christian wants to give. You don't have to tell that Christian to read their Bible. That Christian gonna read their Bible. You don't have to tell that Christian to pray. That Christian gonna pray. That Christian gonna, matter of fact, talk all day to God. You don't have to tell a Christian, a real Christian, right from wrong, because they gonna hear from God. See, when you out of pocket, that's when everything has to be told. And then you so far out of pocket, you can't even be told nothing. That's a dangerous place to be. When you are convinced that you are doing right, when you are so far out of pocket, you've been told you're out of pocket. Ooh, honey, you ought to thank God when somebody can come to you and say, you know what? I see some things. And, you know, I'm here for you. Oh, what are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, okay. Well, you have a blessed day and keep it moving. You see, we sit there and see the pastors out of pocket. You must be out of pocket too if you sit there while he out of pocket. See, when you got one pants out of pocket, the pocket is outside and the other one is inside, somebody may stop and say, excuse me, your pocket is out. Because it don't look right with your clothes. And somebody may say, you know, or you ever went and you pass a car and a gas tank is open or thing is open and you like, and they look at you like, you know, yeah, because it's out of pocket. I have seen women leave their diaper bags on their car and be driving, and I have seen one lady, and she had her diaper bag, or so I can't remember if it was a diaper bag or baby bag. It was something with a baby, and I was like, you know what? Because it was out of pocket. So you know something's out of pocket. The only way you don't know is if you out of pocket. You see they out of pocket, you out of pocket, everybody out of pocket, sitting around each other, entertaining, spending unnecessary money on foolish things, but yet talking about you can't pay your bills at church. Why? You acting a fool with everything, swinging on balls, kicking the Bible and pouring syrup on the Bible, entertaining, nutcracker, all that stuff going on in the church, yet you can't take care of all that. You out of pocket. The money's supposed to be taking care of the ministry God's providing. Maybe God not there. Have you ever thought? Because the God, I know, he takes care of his. You pressing the ministry, you think God not going to take care of that bill? But if you out of pocket, then you got to manipulate and lie your way through this journey. Now, where you end up at the end of your journey is based on how you walked in this walk. And did you stay out of pocket? Out of ignorance or out of rebellion? Are you going to be one of the Lord, be prophesied, cast out demons? And he said, depart. Did you use mercy, grace, and long suffering for every sin you was committing, thinking you was okay with Jesus? Somebody tried to explain you was, honey, I don't need you to tell me what to do. I can do this. The Lord knows my heart. God bless you.